Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, where's my brethren all around the world watching this video? Hope you're having a great day. As you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe before we get into the video. Give me some time, but yeah, go do that. Interesting news, the world of boxing. Okay, interesting news here in the world of boxing. It was announced recently, and this is the latest developments in the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight. It's reported by a number of news outlets, but the one I have in front of me is Boxing Scene, so shout out to Boxing Scene. Boxing Scene has reported that Tyson Fury's, one of the sparring partners that he's bringing in for his camp, comes in the form of one of the top young cruiserweight prospects in the world in Lawrence Okolie. And I think that's really, really awesome for the Gypsy King to have someone like that in there. I think, Okolie's someone that has that kind of like same build as Wilder, like that basketball player kind of build, long, lanky. And, obviously he's not going to be able to mimic everything the Bronze Bomber does, and he's not going to be able to replicate the kind of punching power Deontay Wilder has, because who has Deontay Wilder punching power in boxing right now? Really, nobody does. So you can't mimic all those things, but I think it's about the closest thing you can get to Wilder without actually sparring Wilder. So, and that's very important as a fighter to do that, just to have guys in camp that can replicate whoever it is you're fighting as much as possible. So, yeah, and just for those of you who may be wondering, Okolie, his reach isn't listed on BoxRec, but, he's 2 inches shorter, and they say, I read in the article that his reach is actually 82.5 inches. So it's arms are slightly shorter, and he's slightly shorter as well as far as height goes. So, you're getting a guy in there that I believe could mimic Wilder style as much as possible. So that's good for Fury. Here's what Okolie had to say about sparring Tyson Fury, and just like how this helps him with his own career. And we'll get into his career as well and how this affects his career. So here's what he said. He said, I quote, "I think it's getting confirmed today or before the end of the week. I'll probably go out next week, help out for a few weeks. I sparred another heavyweight champion in Anthony Joshua, sparred with Dillian White, so I've been in there with top heavyweights. It's going to be interesting to be in there with someone so much bigger than myself. He's got a long reach, good boxing IQ, so it's going to be a great opportunity to learn some stuff and just work. It's an ambition of mine to move up to heavyweight in the future, but I still feel like I have a lot of fundamentals that need to be ironed out at cruiserweight. I'm able to get away with a lot of stuff at cruiserweight that I won't be able to get away with the heavyweight, so we're just going to work on it." So they have from Lawrence Okolie, one of the top young cruiserweights in the world. I think this is good for both of them. We talked about how it helps Fury. As far as helps Okolie, if you go back and watch his last couple fights, his fights for this year, like he fought Isaac Chamberlain in a big prospect versus prospect matchup, and it was one of the most shambolic fights as far as excitement goes all year. It was terrible. I even hyped it up. It was terrible. But he got the win. Fought a domestic level opponent, Luke Watkins, looked great, destroyed him pretty easily. But he still does have a lot of ironing, as polishing up to do with his skill set. And I look forward to seeing him do that at cruiserweight. And what better way to do that than fighting a guy or sparring a guy, I should say, like Tyson Fury, who's 6'9", mobile, just insane boxing IQ, been in big fights, won big fights, linear heavyweight champion. The list goes on and on with Tyson Fury. It forces a guy like him, who's used to being the taller man in the ring, to find new ways to understand range and box from the outside or even box from the inside. And it just overall forces him to dig deeper into that skill set and improves you as a fighter. So I think that's always great when you can do that and be in there for a lot of rounds, quality rounds of sparring with someone like Tyson Fury. So, big ups to both of them for doing these sparring sessions. It is also worth noting, and most of you may know this already, but if you don't know this, I'll let you know for those of you out there in the boxing world. Lawrence Okolie isn't the only big name that Tyson Fury has been sparring with recently. He's been sparring also with another heavyweight prospect in Joe Joyce, Big Juggernaut Joyce. They've been sparring over there in Big Bear, and Joe Joyce has went as far as to say that this guy is the most talented fighter he's ever been in the ring with. And I think that speaks volumes. Joe Joyce being a guy who's been in the amateurs, won gold medals, and just seeing so many different styles. He sparred Anthony Joshua as well. So for him to say that, being in there with Anthony Joshua, being a gold medalist in the Olympics, I think it says a lot. So Fury's doing it. It seems like Fury's pulling out all the stops to try to do his best to win this fight. And I've always said, I did a video recently. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's titled Three Reasons Why Tyson Fury Will Defeat Deontay Wilder for the WBC heavyweight title. It's doing pretty good right now. Go check that out. But I've always said, and I've always agreed with the late great Emmanuel Stewart, who trained Fury in his last days here on Earth. He said that Tyson Fury has a sort of inner toughness about him that just doesn't exist in most fighters. And if he can get on a regular training program, a good regimen, that he's going to be the dominant champion of his era. And I've always said this, when Tyson Fury was 400 pounds and we didn't know if he was in a box again, I always said if Tyson Fury can get to 50% or even 60% of what he was in the Klitschko fight, that he is the best heavyweight in the world. And I just believe that because of the toughness that I alluded to, but also more importantly, you just can't. There is no other fighter in the heavyweight division in all boxing that's like Tyson Fury, a man who is 6'9", has fantastic footwork, fantastic defense, A+ boxing IQ. You can't mimic what he does in sparring. You can't find anybody remotely close to what he can do in sparring. So it's a matchup nightmare for any heavyweight if he's healthy and he's fit and he's ready to go. And that's why I just think, like, it's great to see him disciplined, training, slowly and surely getting his weight down. And he's one of the very few people, I'll say, not even just in boxing, but in all of sports. Because I watch a lot of sports, and I watch baseball, I watch basketball, I watch soccer, I watch a lot of different sports. So I encounter a lot of different athletes in me watching sports. And there's very few athletes that when they say something, I believe them. But when Tyson Fury says something, like, I really believe it. So when he says that, I'm in the best shape of my life, and when he says that I really think I can win this fight, I really do believe in it. I don't think it's just all smoke and mirrors. I know that as boxing fans, we spend any amount of time, especially as someone who covers boxing, you kind of grow cynical towards a lot of things. Like, you don't believe a lot of what fighters say, because a lot of times it winds up being just smoke out of their asses to promote the fights. Shout out to Mikey Garcia. But with Tyson Fury, I really do believe what he says, and it's good to see him just, like, doing what he can and doing his part to be the best version of himself when he steps into that ring with Deontay Wilder on December the 1st. It's going to be a fantastic fight. And I think, people make a big deal about just what he looked like in his tune-up fights and how he didn't stop those guys. I don't think he should be in the business of trying to stop guys. You've been out of the ring for 2 years. You used and abused drugs for 2 years. It's important for you to get those quality rounds in. And I think he's logged in enough rounds, and he seems to be confident in himself to know, okay, I've had 2 tune-up fights. I've logged enough rounds in to know that I think I'm ready for a Wilder fight. He picked Wilder. That's the thing. He picked Wilder. He wanted Wilder. Wilder didn't want him. Wilder didn't go to him. He went to Wilder. He could have just taken 4 more tune-up fights, but that wasn't the case. But I've been rambling. Just wanted to just give my thoughts on this whole situation with Lawrence Okolie sparring Tyson Fury. Give me your thoughts about it. Like, anything I may have missed, some deeper insights you guys may have. Put them down below in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And like I say in every single video, and it's been great saying this recently a lot. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Ding. So until next time, take care, guys.